Hello and welcome to Robots Retro Spaces. Today we will be talking about the JCPenney 3-pack Battlestar Galactica Mattel boxes. There were 3 of these boxes released, a Wave 1 Villains, a Wave 1 Heroes, and then a Wave 2 Villains box. These 3 boxes are all that were released in terms of multi-packs for figures for Battlestar Galactica. These are not particular. These are quite hard to get your hands on. The one that's missing, which is the Wave 1 Villains box, is very, very difficult. In fact, I think that the only item that is of comparable difficulty to that Wave 1 Villains box is a Starbuck offer box, which is where a Viper came with a free Starbuck in it. From my experience anyway, I have not seen either of those come up for sale for at least 3 years. So they're quite rare. So I want to talk today about the boxes and about the baggies that go in the box to help collectors if they are trying to get these 3 boxes and they're not sure as to what is legit or not. Okay, so we will start off with the Wave 1 Heroes box. The boxes themselves from JCPenney, there's no discernible variations that we can see other than the fact that we've got the pictures of what's contained on the inside. So if we open up this box here, oh, come on, you've got your 3, 1, 2, 3 heroes. First thing you'll notice is the baggies. They're very long and they've got these circles on them. I don't see any evidence of them being sealed, but there is evidence of them being taped. So a Wave 1 baggie, I think, with green tape looks like this. Now, I think that these bags and this style of packaging is 100% dependent on the factory that it came from. Because if you look at, we put those to the side, you look at a Wave 2 Villains box, and ignore the Ziploc bags, you've got a much smaller baggie made in Hong Kong. And your figure. Now, I am of the impression that a Wave 1 Villains box, which is the one that I don't have, has baggies that are more like this one, closer to the shape and size of the individual. Now, there's a couple of reasons why that would make sense. The first is that this is Wave 2, so this one came out probably around in 1979. In fact, it was in the 1980 Christmas catalogue for JCPenney. By this time, the line was on its way out, so this really is them trying to move on old stock. So let's sort of break this down a little bit. Here is a photo of a Wave 1 Villains box with associated baggies. So you'll see that those baggies are very similar to the Wave 2 Villains, and also very similar to the baggies that are used for the offer boxes. So the general conclusion is that a Wave 1 Heroes box was done by one manufacturer, and then a Wave 1 Villains and Wave 2 Villains were done by a different manufacturer, at least a different packager. Also, there's a lot of discussion about weapons, because a lot of the time when you buy these boxes, they've been opened, and the baggies have been opened. It isn't very often you get sealed ones, so you never quite know what happened to the weapons. Were the weapons did they come with weapons? Were the weapons in the bags? General consensus is that for Wave 1 Heroes, they came with weapons and weapons were in the bags. So for this case, there would have been a little gun for Adama and a little gun for Starbuck. Both the same gun, by the way. For Wave 1 Villains, it would have been exactly the same. Just like with the Cylon offer box, it would have been a Cylon with a gun in a separate baggie. And then it would have been Ovion, who does not have a weapon. And then also the Imperious Leader, which does not have a weapon. So that would have been the 3 baggies for Wave 1 Villains. But for Wave 2, there's still a lot of debate about weapons. Because it's 1980 Christmas catalogue, and it's quite clear that there was an effort to get rid of old stock, we're not sure if the weapons came inside or came with the figures at all. So we don't know if a weapon came in with Baltar, or if the weapons were in a separate bag, in this case a gun for Baltar and a gun for our Cylon commander in a separate bag or not. So at this stage, if you have a Wave 2 Villains box and it doesn't have weapons, it may or may not still be exactly the same way as it was when it was delivered. There seems to be both cases out there with people who don't have weapons and people who do have weapons. So that one's quite difficult. So that is a summary of the JCPenney boxes. I hope it's been helpful. Baggies for Battlestar Galactica are quite tricky. There's not a lot about. There's only a few people that are really into it. So if you have any questions or comments, please put them in the bottom of the comments so that other people can learn and we can all figure it out together. Cheers. Bye.